Did you know that 90% of the population in the US lives on credit? This may be a shocking statistic, but this financial reality has become the norm for most Americans. The country is known for its consumer culture, with nearly 1 in 7 people holding 7 or more credit cards. This dependence on borrowed money is tied to high living standards and the availability of accessible credit, making the U.S. one of the leaders in consumption worldwide. Credit culture is an integral part of the economy and life for Americans, reflecting their approach to finances and lifestyle. Honey Guide, the bird that will help you find honey if you share it. Imagine being lost in the African wilderness searching for food. In this case, you'd need one special bird, the honey guide. This unique bird species can literally talk to you and lead you to beehives. But there's a catch. When the honey guide helps you find honey, it expects you to share it. If you don't, the next time the bird may lead you not to honey, but to something dangerous, like a venomous snake. So it's better not to be greedy. This is an example of true partnership between humans and nature. Do you think hot water freezes faster than cold? It is a common misconception. Although it sometimes seems like hot water freezes faster, cold water usually freezes faster under most circumstances. This is because cold water is already closer to the freezing point. However, there is a mysterious phenomenon known as the Mpemba effect, which sometimes causes hot water to freeze faster. Scientists are still debating how exactly this effect works, and its mechanisms remain a mystery. But if you need ice quickly, it is better to start with cold water. Who knew? A group of pugs is called a grumble. Pugs are already beloved for their cute and quirky personalities. But did you know that a group of pugs is called a grumble? This charming term perfectly suits their adorable and sometimes noisy nature. When several pugs gather, it's a delightful sight and sound, a small grumble of little doggy characters, bringing joy and humor to any scene. Have you ever stopped to think that opossums fake their deaths? When threatened, opossums go full method actor. They enter a trance-like state called thanatosis. It's not just playing dead, it's a full physiological shutdown. Their heart rate drops to near undetectable levels. Their bodies go limp, and they emit a foul smell from anal glands and their mouth that mimics the scent of decay. This gruesome performance convinces many predators to lose interest, assuming the corpse is either rotten or diseased. The opossum may stay like this for minutes or even hours, then slowly recover and creep away. It's an involuntary response triggered by fear, not a conscious decision, but it works like a charm. Millions of years of evolution have turned this peculiar act into a highly effective survival strategy. Did you know that Hattie McDaniel made Oscar history? In 1940, this remarkable actress became the first African-American woman to win an Academy Award, specifically for her performance as Mammy in the epic film Gone with the Wind. Hattie's win was groundbreaking, not just for her career, but for the representation of African Americans in Hollywood during a time of significant racial discrimination. The ceremony took place in Los Angeles, and despite the segregated environment of the time, she delivered a heartfelt acceptance speech that resonated with many. McDaniel's achievement paved the way for future generations of actors and actresses of color, showing them that success in the film industry was possible. Surprisingly, her landmark win came at a moment when roles for Black artists were often limited to stereotypes. Yet Hattie managed to shine through her talent and determination. Today, we celebrate her legacy and the doors she opened for others in film. How can we continue to honor her contributions to cinema and fight for greater diversity in Hollywood? Have you ever wondered how moths sniff love from miles away? Male silkworm moths possess some of the most sensitive noses in the animal kingdom. Their feathery antennae are loaded with millions of scent receptors that can detect just a few molecules of a female's pheromone. From up to 16 kilometers away, these males lock onto the chemical trail and navigate with astonishing precision, even in total darkness. Once in range, they engage in a dance-like flight, guided by increasingly strong scent cues. This extreme sensitivity ensures that even in low-density populations, mating is still possible. Their antennae are so advanced, they've inspired sensor designs in modern robotics and technology. Nature made them into airborne pheromone-seeking missiles, all for the sake of love. Did you know Yellowstone is the world's first national park? Yellowstone National Park, established in 1872, was the first national park in the world. Located mostly in Wyoming, USA, it is a true natural wonder. The park is famous for its geysers, hot springs, and wildlife, and it sits atop a massive volcanic caldera. This makes it not only a beautiful, but geologically unique place on the planet. Yellowstone is Mother Nature's masterpiece, attracting millions of visitors each year. What makes proboscis monkeys so special in Brunei? These fascinating creatures are truly a sight to behold. Found primarily in the lush mangrove forests, riverbanks, and tropical rainforests of Brunei, especially within the stunning Ulu Temburong National Park, proboscis monkeys are like something out of a storybook. With their distinctive long noses and unique social behaviors, they have earned a special place in the hearts of wildlife enthusiasts and locals alike. This national park is not just any nature reserve, it's a crucial conservation area that protects a variety of unique wildlife, with the proboscis monkey often hailed as its main attraction. Brunei's government takes conservation seriously, implementing strict measures to shield these remarkable monkeys and their habitats from threats like deforestation and hunting. Thanks to these efforts, visitors to Ulu Temburong can witness these playful primates swinging through the trees, all while supporting initiatives that ensure their survival and the health of their rainforest home. Seeing these monkeys in their natural environment is not just an adventure, it's a chance to appreciate the beauty of biodiversity. Did you know that there's a stone forest on Earth? In China's Yunnan province, you'll find one of the most unique natural phenomena, the Shailan, or stone forest. This astonishing forest isn't made of trees, but of towering limestone pillars that rise towards the sky like jagged spikes of rock. The age of this extraordinary forest is over 270 million years. Erosion from rain and wind has sculpted the rocks into such bizarre shapes. For centuries, people have attributed mystical powers to this place, and local legends claim that spirits of nature inhabit Shailan. It's so majestic and mysterious, it almost looks like a set from a fantasy movie. Can you imagine that in Colorado, there's a town where it's illegal to die? In the town of Netherland, Colorado, there's a strange and even absurd law. You can't die in the town. This law stems from a local history involving attempts to preserve a man's body in a frozen state. Now the town has declared itself a territory for immortals, and locals jokingly claim that they're simply not allowed to die. Of course, the law isn't enforceable, but many people visit Netherland to laugh at this odd tradition and learn about the story of the frozen eternal resident. How would you react if you found out that Las Vegas is the brightest place on Earth, visible even from space? This city has become the unofficial capital of gambling and casinos. Interestingly, the legalization of casino operations in Nevada was aimed at boosting the state budget, which needed funds for building schools. As a result, Las Vegas has transformed into a true cultural phenomenon, with its bright lights symbolizing not only the city, but also the entire American dream associated with risk-taking and entertainment. Imagine for a moment that Las Vegas came about purely by chance. In 1829, a caravan traveling from Texas to California lost its way. The desperately thirsty people were fortunate to find a source of fresh water, and they named the place Las Vegas, which in Spanish means fertile meadows. This chance encounter laid the foundation for the city that would eventually become the casino capital and global entertainment hub. Did you know there are eternal lightning storms on Earth? In Venezuela, there is a place called Katatumbo where lightning strikes almost constantly. This unique natural phenomenon occurs at Lake Maracaibo, where lightning can be observed on up to 250 days each year. Known as the Katatumbo lightning storm, lightning can flash up to 280 times an hour. Scientists believe this is due to the region's unique topography, which creates perfect conditions for constant discharges. This location has become a major attraction for tourists and scientists from around the world. Have you ever seen a double rainbow in the sky? A double rainbow is truly one of nature's most enchanting spectacles. Picture this. As sunlight breaks through after a storm, It hits raindrops hanging in the air, acting like tiny prisms that bend and split the light into a dazzling array of colors. This incredible optical phenomenon features two concentric rainbows, with the brighter, more vivid inner rainbow and a fainter outer one that appears in reverse order of colors. The deeper you observe, the more magic you can find. The outer rainbow is usually a lot wider and can sometimes take on a soft, pastel look. People often feel awe when witnessing this breathtaking display, and many cultures have linked double rainbows to good luck or even a sign of something special on the horizon. So the next time you see one, take a moment to appreciate the science behind it and revel in the beauty that nature offers. These colorful arcs remind us of the wonders that can emerge from rain and sunshine alike. Why is there a village in Norway where it's Christmas every day? In the Norwegian village of Drobach, a festive Christmas spirit lasts all year long. There's a Santa Claus museum, a postal service for sending holiday letters, and shops full of Christmas decorations. Even in summer, you can feel like it's winter, and the locals happily maintain this festive atmosphere. Tourists come here to experience a holiday wonderland, leaving with smiles and holiday cheer. Did you know that giraffes sleep for only minutes at a time? Despite their towering height and gentle nature, giraffes live under constant threat in the wild. As a result, they sleep very little, just 30 to 60 minutes per day, broken into brief naps lasting 5 to 10 minutes. Most of this sleep occurs while standing, thanks to a unique system of ligaments that locks their legs in place without muscle strain. Only in the safest conditions do giraffes lie down to enter REM sleep, curling their necks backward in a position that looks awkward but is surprisingly stable. Scientists believe this fragmented sleep pattern evolved as a defense mechanism, allowing giraffes to remain alert and flee quickly from predators. It's one of the shortest sleep durations in the animal kingdom, proving that vigilance often trumps rest when survival depends on it. Here's a wild fact about a frozen giant. The Kjeragbolten boulder is a jaw-dropping natural wonder, nestled within a mountain crevasse on Norway's stunning Kjerag Mountain. Imagine this massive rock, over 3,000 feet in the air, and wedged tightly between two towering cliffs. It's not just a random boulder, it tells a story that stretches back to the last ice age. As glaciers melted and retreated, they left behind this gigantic stone in its precarious position, creating a breathtaking sight for anyone adventurous enough to visit. The boulder has become a hotspot for thrill seekers, especially base jumpers who take the leap from its heights, soaring off into the vastness below. Besides the adrenaline rush, it's also a perfect backdrop for striking photos, attracting tourists and photographers from around the globe. So if you ever find yourself in Norway, the Kjeragbolten boulder is a must-see that combines natural beauty with a touch of history, adventure, and of course, some exhilarating views. Did you know that earthquakes also happen on the moon? Yes, indeed. The moon experiences its own kind of tremors, known as moonquakes. These shakes can be caused by Earth's gravitational pull, meteor impacts, or tidal forces, and they can last for up to an hour. Surprisingly, moonquakes can reach magnitudes of up to 5.5 on the Richter scale. Just imagine, the moon, our constant celestial companion, reacts to Earth's gravitational pull as if dancing in space alongside our planet. This shows that the moon is more alive and dynamic than we might think. The lonely giant, the saddest whale on the planet. Imagine a whale that sings at a frequency no one else can hear. This unique whale, dubbed the 52 Hz whale, is known for singing at 52 Hz, much higher than other whales. Because of this, it cannot communicate with other whales, and it is considered the loneliest whale in the world. Scientists and the public have followed this whale since the 1980s, and its solitary songs remain a mystery. Perhaps its story is more than just an anomaly. It could be a symbol of our own isolation in the modern world. Sperm whales, the loudest creatures on Earth. Sperm whales are underwater sound machines. They produce clicks and vocalizations that can reach up to 230 decibels. That's several times louder than a jet engine. These sounds help sperm whales communicate over vast distances and navigate the ocean depths. They use them like sonar to hunt giant squid at depths of over 1,000 meters. These clicks are so powerful that they can even stun their prey from a distance. Imagine if humans had similar abilities. We could communicate across entire oceans. The legend of the cookie, how Nestle got the recipe in exchange for chocolate. We all love chocolate chip cookies, but do you know how they became so popular? In the 1930s, Ruth Wakefield invented the famous Toll House chocolate chip cookie, but she didn't sell the recipe to Nestle. Instead, Ruth made a deal where Nestle would print her recipe on their chocolate bars, and in return, she received a lifetime supply of chocolate. That's how chocolate chip cookies became a worldwide favorite, and Ruth Wakefield's name went down in culinary history. Could it be that a shark's skin is perfect for hydrodynamics? Unlike most marine animals, sharks aren't just sleek, they're engineered by nature for speed. Their skin is covered in dermal denticles, tiny tooth-like scales that point backward and create microscopic grooves. These grooves form directional channels that streamline water flow, dramatically reducing drag and turbulence as the shark moves. This allows them to glide silently, reach speeds up to 60 km/h, and conserve energy on long hunts. But the advantages don't stop at speed. The textured surface also repels parasites and microorganisms, preventing biofouling, something engineers are mimicking in cutting-edge ship coatings and Olympic-grade swimsuits. Shark skin isn't just a protective layer. It's a built-in propulsion system and antibacterial suit rolled into one, honed by 400 million years of aquatic evolution. How much do you think the world's most expensive pizza costs? In 2007, Scottish chef Domenico Crolla created the Royal 007 pizza, priced at a staggering $4,200. This gourmet pizza was topped with luxurious ingredients like edible gold flakes, caviar, smoked salmon, and venison marinated in champagne. It was auctioned off for charity, making it a culinary masterpiece worth its weight in gold. Now that's a slice of royal extravagance. Did you know that koalas have fingerprints just like humans? Yes, these fluffy Australian creatures have fingerprints that are almost identical to those of humans. Their intricate and unique patterns are so similar that if a koala left a print at a crime scene, it could be mistaken for a human's. This surprising similarity adds to their charm, making them even more fascinating. Nature never ceases to amaze, creating such unexpected similarities between species. Imagine koalas as little detectives, leaving their own unique traces in the eucalyptus forest. Discover how magnetic rings revolutionized early computer memory. In the early days of computing, memory technology took a fascinating turn with the use of tiny magnetic rings. Each ring was a remarkable component that stored data by allowing electrical signals to loop through them. When it came time to erase this data, engineers simply reversed the current, making the rings reusable. This innovative approach was a major leap forward, providing computers with a reliable way to hold and manipulate information. Imagine a collection of these rings strung together on wires, working tirelessly to perform calculations, while being as precious as gold. Over time, however, this technology was eclipsed by the invention of microchips, which packed even more power into an even smaller space. Yet, the magnetic ring memory remains a crucial chapter in the evolution of computing, showcasing how engineers shape the world we live in today. Doesn't it blow your mind that something so small played such a huge role in the technology we now take for granted? Most people don't know this, but immigrants boost our economy. Foreign-born workers account for nearly 18% of the U.S. labor force, and their contributions are vital to our nation's success. These individuals bring a variety of skills and experiences that enhance creativity and drive innovation in multiple fields. For instance, think about the groundbreaking companies that started with immigrant founders, like Google and Tesla. In addition to starting businesses, immigrant workers fill critical roles in sectors like healthcare, engineering, and technology, areas that are essential for maintaining and growing our economy. Their diverse perspectives lead to new ideas and solutions, making the workplace more dynamic and responsive to change. Moreover, as these workers earn wages and pay taxes, they contribute to local economies, fund public services, and support community development. So next time you see a product or service that seems innovative, remember that foreign-born individuals might have played a significant role in its creation. Isn't it fascinating how they shape our world? Ban on cars on Mackinac Island. How horses defeated cars. Imagine an island where cars have been banned since the late 19th century. Mackinac Island in Michigan became a place where, in 1898, automobiles were completely banned because they frightened horses, the primary mode of transport at the time. Amazingly, this ban remains in effect to this day. Now you can only get around the island by horse, bicycle, or on foot, and even deliveries are made with horse-drawn carts. Mackinac Island is a unique place where you can enjoy quiet streets without the noise of cars. Wow! Sunflowers follow the sun. Sunflowers are not just stunning flowers. Young sunflowers are natural sun trackers. This phenomenon, called heliotropism, allows them to turn their heads throughout the day to follow the sun's movement from east to west. This remarkable ability helps sunflowers optimize sunlight absorption for photosynthesis, boosting their growth. As they mature, they stop following the sun and permanently face east. This fascinating behavior illustrates how plants adapt to their environment to thrive. Who would have thought that Al Capone's business card was anything but gangster? Did you know that the business card of America's most famous gangster, Al Capone, stated that he was a furniture salesman? This is an intriguing detail from the life of one of the most ruthless criminals of the 20th century. Capone rose to fame in the 1920s due to his criminal empire, yet he concealed his activities in official documents by claiming to run a completely legitimate business. This fact is striking as gangsters often use legal fronts to hide their criminal operations. Did you know there are more stars in the universe than grains of sand on Earth? Surprisingly, there are more stars in the universe than all the grains of sand on every beach on Earth. This cosmic fact highlights the unimaginable vastness of our universe. When you look at the night sky, there are billions and billions of stars, each potentially home to planets we know nothing about yet. Our place in the cosmos feels even more humbling when you realize that stars fill the space far beyond what we can even imagine. Is it true that Iceland has no railways? Iceland really has no railways, despite technological advancements in other countries. The main reason is the geographical features of the country, which consists of volcanic rocks and mountainous terrain, making railway construction extremely difficult and expensive. Additionally, due to the small population, roads are a more convenient mode of transport, so despite all the progress, you won't find trains there. Did you know that kangaroos can't jump backward? Kangaroos can easily leap up to 12 meters forward, but they're entirely unable to move backward. Their long and powerful tails provide balance, but also prevent backward propulsion. This limitation is due to the unique structure of their legs, which are solely adapted for forward jumping. Kangaroos are true masters of one-way leaping. Can you imagine that some fungi control insects? Deep in the Amazon rainforest lives a fungus called Ophiocordyceps, which literally turns ants into zombies. The fungus invades the ant's body and takes over its mind, forcing it to climb up a tree before it dies. Then the fungus sprouts out of the ant's head and releases spores to infect others. It sounds like a horror movie plot, but these fungi really exist, and it's one of nature's most mind-blowing phenomena. Did you know that Tokyo has buildings that can grow? Tokyo has a construction technology that allows buildings to increase in height even after completion. The foundation is reinforced so that additional floors can be added later. This saves space in the metropolis and adapts to changing demands. For example, the Mizushima skyscraper was built with 14 floors, but later grew to 20. Why are plastic flamingos outnumbering real ones? You might be surprised to learn that in the United States, there are estimated to be more plastic flamingos than actual flamingos. This quirky fact dates back to the 1950s when Don Featherstone created the iconic pink lawn ornament. These cheerful, lifelike plastic replicas quickly became a popular decoration for front yards, symbolizing a fun, carefree attitude in American suburban life. While the actual flamingo population is concentrated mainly in Florida and parts of the Caribbean, the colorful plastic counterparts have spread like wildfire across the nation, spawning yard parties, art installations, and even the occasional prank or two. Today, they can be spotted on lawns and gardens and even on porches, often in entertaining poses. While we might not see many real flamingos waddling about, these fun plastic birds bring a pop of color and a smile to everyday life, reminding us of sunny beaches and warm weather no matter where we are. Did you know there's a glacier on Pluto the size of Texas and Oklahoma combined? It turns out that on the distant dwarf planet Pluto, there's a massive glacier called Sputnik Planitia. This glacier covers an area the size of Texas and Oklahoma combined. Amazingly, this glacier is made of nitrogen ice, not water, as it would be on Earth. At the center of this region lies a heart-shaped feature made of frozen nitrogen that slowly flows, similar to glaciers on Earth. This fascinating landscape is just one of Pluto's mysteries that continue to amaze scientists. Each planet in our solar system is truly unique. Who would have thought that the wolverine is a force of nature in miniature? Weighing only 10 to 25 kg, the wolverine might seem unimposing, but it has the heart and the bite of a giant. Its jaws are strong enough to crush frozen bones, and its body is designed for relentless endurance across vast snowy wilderness. Dense fur and subcutaneous fat protect it from cold, while sharp claws and muscular limbs let it scale cliffs and dig into carcasses. Wolverines can smell carrion under meters of snow and travel 40 kilometers a day to reach it. They're known to fight off wolves and bears for food, despite being a fraction of their size. Their aggression, stamina, and solitary boldness have earned them a legendary reputation in indigenous folklore and wildlife biology alike. In essence, the wolverine is not just fierce, it's nature's embodiment of determination, grit, and raw survival power. Did you know that the world's longest hair measures over 18 feet? A Chinese woman named Shi Kuping holds the Guinness World Record for the longest hair, which measures a staggering 5.62 meters. That's about 18 feet and 5 inches. She began growing her hair at the age of 13 in 1973 and hasn't cut it since. Taking care of such long hair is no easy task. She spends hours every week washing it and at least 2 hours just combing it. Sometimes she braids her hair or wraps it around herself to make moving easier. This record has remained unbeatable for decades. Is it true that time flows differently in space? Yes, and it's due to Einstein's theory of relativity. The faster you move or the closer you are to an object with a strong gravitational field, the slower time passes for you relative to the rest of the universe. Astronauts aboard the International Space Station literally age more slowly because they're moving at high speeds. This phenomenon is called gravitational time dilation. Penicillin was discovered by accident, and it saved millions of lives. In 1928, Alexander Fleming returned from vacation to his laboratory and noticed that one of his Petri dishes, infected with bacteria, was covered in mold. He was amazed to find that bacteria were not on the mold. This was the beginning of the discovery of penicillin, the world's first antibiotic, which completely transformed medicine and saved countless lives. A chance discovery became one of the greatest breakthroughs in human history. Who would have thought a group of badgers is called a seat? In the world of wildlife terminology, a group of badgers is known as a seat. This unusual term adds a bit of quirkiness to the vocabulary of nature. Badgers are known for their burrowing abilities and they form close-knit social groups. This unique collective noun perfectly captures their digging prowess and teamwork. So next time you see a group of badgers, you'll know you're witnessing a seat in action, a true badge of nature's oddities. Mosquito detectives. Case closed. Did you know that mosquitoes can help solve crimes? In Finland, police found a dead mosquito inside a stolen car. By analyzing the blood left inside the mosquito, they identified the DNA of the thief. Female mosquitoes feed on blood to nourish their eggs, while males stick to nectar. This unique case shows how even the smallest creatures can play a big role in justice. It's a perfect example of how science and nature sometimes surprise us with their unexpected contributions. Can you believe olives come from the same tree? It's true, green and black olives, the stars of your favorite tapenade or pizza, actually grow on the same type of olive tree, known scientifically as Olea europaea. The difference between them doesn't come from the tree itself, but rather the time they are harvested. Green olives are plucked from the tree while they're still young and firm, just before they fully mature. This gives them their crisp texture and tangy flavor, perfect for those who enjoy a zesty bite. On the other hand, black olives are left to ripen on the tree until they turn a deep, rich color. This longer maturation process transforms their flavor profile, resulting in a softer, more mellow taste that many find delicious. Both types are full of healthy fats, antioxidants, and even anti-inflammatory properties. So whether you prefer the sharp punch of green olives or the smoothness of black olives, remember that they share a common origin, making every olive a little piece of culinary unison. Why has the U.S. become a leader on the global stage? After the Civil War ended in 1865, the country entered an era of industrial growth and expanding influence. By around 1900, following the annexation of Mexican territory and other successful wars, the U.S. began to dominate the Western Hemisphere. Roosevelt's corollary, which asserted the U.S. right to intervene in Latin American affairs, solidified this status. After World War II, the U.S. emerged as a world leader, allowing it to leverage military power and economic resources to influence international events. Since the 20th century, the U.S. has employed both force and diplomacy to establish its global leadership. Did you know that there is a country where money is made of plastic? In Australia, all banknotes are made of polymer, not paper. This makes them much more durable and harder to counterfeit. Australian polymer money can last up to 2.5 times longer than paper notes and can easily withstand humidity and even being submerged in water. In fact, due to this technology, plastic has become the currency material of choice for more than 30 countries. Additionally, Australian money can be cut in half, and each half is still considered legal tender until replaced. Imagine for a moment that the United States did not win the war with Mexico. The war began in 1846 and resulted in the U.S. significantly enlarging its territory, acquiring half of Mexico's lands, including California, Arizona, and Texas. Had the U.S. not emerged victorious, the consequences for its future development could have been drastically different. Without these territories, the economic and strategic influence of the U.S. in the Americas would have been considerably weakened, making industrial and commercial growth more difficult. Victory in the Mexican War paved the way for U.S. dominance in North America and further expansion of its influence. Is it possible? Paper can be stronger than steel. Special technologies can create what is known as paper armor, which when treated properly becomes stronger than steel. For example, Japanese washi paper, used in some bulletproof vests, can withstand impacts that ordinary paper couldn't handle. This paper is treated with resins and layered, making it incredibly durable. Amazingly, paper can be used for protection, just like metal, thanks to these technologies. Why does the King of Hearts in a deck of cards have no mustache? If you've ever taken a close look at a standard deck of cards, you may have noticed that the King of Hearts is the only king without a mustache. This small detail, often overlooked, makes him unique among the other kings. Depicted as clean-shaven, this little quirk adds a bit of mystery to the standard deck of cards that we all know and play with. Did you know Filipino food is a delicious adventure? Picture yourself stepping into the vibrant world of Filipino cuisine, where every meal tells a story. Iconic dishes like tocino, sinigang, and sisig are just the tip of the iceberg. Tocino, a mouth-watering fried pork dish, is known for its sweet and savory glaze that makes it a breakfast staple, often enjoyed with fluffy garlic rice. Then there's sinigang, a tangy and comforting soup that hits all the right notes with its mix of meat, veggies, and that unmistakable sour flavor, usually from tamarind. It's perfect for rainy days or just when you need a warm hug in a bowl. And let's not forget sisig, which takes sizzling pork to another level, served on a hot plate and bursting with flavor. It's an absolute must-try. This diverse culinary landscape reflects the country's rich history, blending influences from Spanish, Chinese, and indigenous cultures. Each dish offers a taste of Filipino hospitality and creativity, inviting you to join in the celebration every time you take a bite. Believe it or not, America is behind every economic miracle in other countries. After World War II, the U.S. began investing in the recovery and development of other nations, leading to economic wonders in Japan, Germany, South Korea, and China. In Japan, the U.S. transferred technology. In Germany, they provided financial aid and protection. South Korea was integrated into the global economy, and China received significant investment. Today, the U.S. remains the primary buyer of goods from these countries, despite China's rise as a leading economic partner. This approach not only created strong economic allies for the U.S., but also secured a strategic advantage in the world. Isn't it interesting that hedgehogs can swim? These little spiky creatures don't seem built for water, but they are surprisingly good swimmers. Hedgehogs can not only swim, but also hold their breath underwater. They puff up like little rafts and can cross rivers and lakes if necessary. Although they don't often need to, the ability to swim helps them survive in the wild, proving that even the smallest creatures can be great adventurers. Guess what really drives Zion Canyon's beauty? This stunning location, the most famous feature of Zion National Park, was skillfully carved by the Virgin River over millions of years. As the river meandered through the landscape, it shaped towering red sandstone cliffs and created unique rock formations that attract nature lovers and adventurers alike. These majestic cliffs can rise over 1,000 feet, giving visitors breathtaking views as they hike along the trails. The vibrant colors of the sandstone, ranging from deep reds to warm oranges, change throughout the day as the sunlight dances across the rocks, creating a living canvas of beauty. Whether you're spending a day exploring the Zion Canyon Scenic Drive or tackling challenging hikes like Angel's Landing, the diverse landscapes and rich ecosystem capture hearts and inspire awe. Wildlife, such as deer and various bird species, also call this area home, further enhancing its charm. So the next time you think of breathtaking natural wonders, remember how the Virgin River has sculpted this incredible gem. How does nature achieve such artistry? Imagine a flight that lasts only 53 seconds. The shortest commercial flight in the world connects two Scottish islands, Westray and Papa Westray. This flight covers just 1.5 miles and lasts less than a minute. Only 53 seconds. By the time you buckle your seatbelt, the plane is already preparing to land. It's probably the quickest and shortest way to travel that you can imagine. If you ever find yourself on this flight, you won't even notice its start and finish. Earth's gravity. Why isn't it the same everywhere? Have you ever wondered why gravity varies slightly in different places on Earth? It turns out this is due to many factors, such as altitude, the density of Earth's crust, and the distance from the equator. Gravity is stronger at the poles and in places with denser crust, like mountain ranges, because these areas are closer to the Earth's center. Conversely, gravity is weaker at high altitudes, such as on top of Mount Everest and near the equator. These variations are caused by the distribution of mass on the planet and the fact that Earth is slightly flattened at the poles. This highlights the complexity and uniqueness of our gravitational field. Now you know, in some places on Earth, you weigh a little more or less than in others. Why is Maine known as the Lone Ranger State? Maine is the only U.S. state that shares a border with just one other state, New Hampshire. This unique geographical feature makes Maine something of a loner among the states. If you're someone who enjoys solitude and quiet, Maine might be the perfect place for you. Known for its stunning natural landscapes, rocky coastlines, and quiet forests, Maine stands out for its geographic isolation and proud, independent spirit. Why hasn't Ireland's population recovered 160 years after the famine? Imagine a country unable to fully recover its population for more than a century and a half. That's precisely what happened to Ireland after the Great Potato Famine of the mid-19th century. The famine, caused by crop failures, led to the deaths of hundreds of thousands and the mass emigration of millions of Irish people around the world. Even today, 160 years later, Ireland's population is still 2 million less than it was before this tragedy. This incredible demographic puzzle remains a testament to the devastating impact of those events. Why is Switzerland the world's peacekeeper? Switzerland has earned a reputation as a neutral ground, a country famously untouched by wars for over 2 centuries. This neutrality isn't just a passive stance. It's actively woven into the fabric of Swiss identity. Nestled in the heart of Europe, Switzerland hosts numerous international organizations, most notably the International Red Cross and the World Health Organization. These organizations chose Switzerland for its stability, political neutrality, and a unique culture of diplomacy. The International Red Cross, founded in Geneva in 1863, embodies the spirit of humanitarian aid, providing assistance to those in need during conflicts and disasters. Meanwhile, the World Health Organization plays a crucial role in global health, working tirelessly to combat pandemics and improve healthcare worldwide. Being the hub for such vital institutions allows Switzerland to play a pivotal role in global diplomacy and development, acting as a facilitator for dialogue among nations. So when you think of Switzerland, it's more than just chocolate and mountains. It's also about its unwavering commitment to fostering peace and collaboration across the globe. It's hard to believe, but it's true. Brits talk about the weather more than anything else. According to a study, 94% of Brits have talked about the weather at least once in the last 6 hours, and 38% reported discussing it in the last hour. This is due to the frequently changing weather in the UK, where rainy conditions are the norm. On average, there are 130 rainy days a year in Britain, prompting locals to always discuss what's happening outside. So don't be surprised if, upon meeting a Brit, the first question is about the weather. Did you know that bats can see with sound? While many creatures rely on vision, bats have mastered a different sense, echolocation, to thrive in complete darkness. They emit high-frequency sound waves, usually beyond human hearing, which bounce off nearby objects. By measuring the time delay and frequency shift of the returning echoes, bats construct a mental map of their surroundings with extraordinary precision. Some species process more than 100 echoes per second, adjusting their wing beats and flight path in real time to track even the tiniest insect midair. Their brains are wired to convert sound into spatial imagery, essentially allowing them to see with their ears. This remarkable adaptation has evolved independently in different bat families, showcasing nature's ingenuity. Throughout history, bats have been wrapped in myth, seen as omens or vampires. But in reality, they are marvels of bioacoustics and a source of inspiration for modern sonar and radar technologies. Sometimes it feels impossible, but penguins survive by huddling. In Antarctica's unforgiving environment, where temperatures plummet below 40 degrees Celsius and winds exceed 100 km/h, emperor penguins have evolved a breathtaking strategy to stay warm: synchronized group huddling. Thousands of males who incubate eggs alone for months during the polar winter form tightly packed circles that function like living thermal blankets. The birds on the outer edge slowly rotate inward, taking turns warming up in the center before moving back out again. This coordinated movement, often described as a wave, ensures that no individual is exposed for too long. The core temperature of the huddle can reach nearly 1 degree Celsius, vastly warmer than the surroundings. Scientists have compared the structure to fluid dynamics in physics, and it's still being studied as a model of energy efficiency. Ancient explorers once mistook these gatherings for chaos, but they're really one of nature's most disciplined survival systems. How did ancient Egyptians predict the flooding of the Nile? The ancient Egyptians believed that the flooding of the Nile depended on the position of the star Sirius in the sky. They watched for its rising and knew that when Sirius appeared, the time of the flood was approaching, bringing fertility and wealth to their land. Sirius was so important to the ancient Egyptians that it was even associated with the goddess Isis. This star helped predict harvests and prevent famine, holding significance for thousands of years. Did you know that the Kuwaiti dinar is the most valuable currency in the world? The Kuwaiti dinar, KWD, holds the title as the highest valued currency in the world. Despite Kuwait not having the largest economy, its currency's unique exchange rate gives it incredible worth. One Kuwaiti dinar is equivalent to about $3.30, making it one of the most valuable currencies globally. This means that even a small amount of Kuwaiti dinars can be worth a lot when exchanged for other currencies. Could this really be possible? Electric eels zap with 600 volts. Electric eels, native to South America's murky Amazon waters, aren't actually eels but knife fish, and they've evolved one of the most extraordinary hunting adaptations: electric shock. They can generate bursts of up to 600 volts using stacks of electrocytes, specialized cells that act like biological batteries. By rapidly discharging these cells, the eel stuns prey or fends off threats. Incredibly, they can modulate the intensity and frequency of their shocks, using weaker pulses for navigation and communication, and stronger ones to immobilize prey. Some even emit double shocks to reveal hiding prey in mud. Indigenous tribes respected them as both dangerous and mystical creatures. Today, electric eel physiology is inspiring bioengineers to create soft, flexible energy sources for medical implants and underwater devices. They're not just predators. They're living power plants swimming through history and science alike. How would you react if you learned that it was Tim Berners-Lee who invented the World Wide Web? What if you found out that Tim Berners-Lee, a British scientist, was the one who created it? This is not just a change in technology, it's a revolution that radically transformed how we communicate and access information. In 1989, while working at CERN, Berners-Lee proposed a hypertext system that would link information through documents. This became the foundation for the World Wide Web, and since then, the internet has evolved, providing access to millions of websites and changing society. In the UK, there are many other scientists, such as Charles Darwin, Stephen Hawking, and Isaac Newton, whose discoveries and research laid the groundwork for modern sciences and technologies. Is it possible? The world's largest flower can reach 3 feet in diameter. Meet the Rafflesia, a giant flower that astonishes with its size. The diameter of this extraordinary plant can reach nearly 1 meter, making it a true botanical wonder. But it's not just its size that makes the Rafflesia famous. Its smell resembles rotting meat, attracting pollinating insects. This enormous, eccentric plant perfectly illustrates the diversity of nature, showing that flowers can be not only beautiful, but also absolutely surprising. How would you react to the fact that Winston Churchill was born in a women's restroom? What if you found out that one of Britain's greatest politicians was born in such an unusual place? This fact about Churchill has become almost mythical, and while it may not be true, such astonishing and vivid moments have become part of his legend. Churchill, who served as Prime Minister of the United Kingdom twice, played a crucial role in the Allies' victory in World War II. His speeches, resolve, and ability to make important decisions during the most challenging times of the war are key features of his political legacy. Is your oil change costing more than it should? It turns out that many consumers end up paying more than they expected when getting an oil change, and it often comes down to upselling tactics used by service providers. When you pull into a garage, the friendly technician might suggest that you splurge on a high-performance motor oil, claiming it will enhance your engine's life. While some premium oils can indeed have benefits, many everyday drivers don't actually need them. Additionally, they might recommend changing your windshield wipers, even if yours are functioning just fine. These tactics can significantly inflate your bill without offering any real value. To avoid being overcharged, do a little research on what your car genuinely needs and don't hesitate to ask questions. Knowing that most oil changes are routine services, you can often stick to standard motor oil unless your vehicle has specific high-performance requirements. Being informed is your best defense. Don't let high prices rain on your oil change parade. Believe it or not, your brain generates about 70,000 thoughts a day. Imagine your brain as a factory of ideas, working non-stop. Every day it generates around 70,000 thoughts. That means a new idea, memory, or decision is born in your head every few seconds. This incredible ability allows us to multitask and quickly adapt, processing thousands of decisions automatically. So the next time you feel overwhelmed by thoughts, remember, your brain's powerful thinking factory is in full operation. Incredibly, a blue whale's heartbeat can be heard from 2 miles away. The heart of the blue whale, the largest animal on the planet, beats so powerfully that it can be heard up to 2 miles, 3.2 kilometers away. This amazing fact shows just how enormous and powerful these ocean giants are. A blue whale's heart weighs as much as a car, pumping blood through arteries so wide a person could swim through them. Imagine this natural machine sets the rhythm of an entire ocean. Can you guess when the first mobile phone call was made? On April 3, 1973, the first mobile phone call in history was made. This historic moment took place in New York City when Motorola engineer Martin Cooper dialed the number of his competitor. The phone was bulky and weighed over 1 kilogram. This call marked the beginning of a new era in communications, paving the way for the sleek smartphones we carry with us today. Have you ever wondered who produces the best counterfeit dollars? The most notorious producer of fake American dollars is North Korea. The country manufactures high-quality counterfeit banknotes that are visually nearly indistinguishable from the real ones. These fake bills have been used for various purposes, including financing illicit operations, and have become a problem for global financial markets. The human nose, a super sensitive organ. The human nose is more than just a smell detector. It's a true sensory powerhouse. Scientists once thought that humans could only distinguish about 10,000 different smells, but recent research shows that we can actually detect up to 1 trillion distinct scents. This amazing discovery reveals just how complex and sensitive our sense of smell is. We can identify not only pleasant fragrances, but also warning smells like smoke or gas. The human nose is truly a superhero among the senses. How did a book about cheese conquer the world, even in places where it's rarely eaten? In the 1990s, Spencer Johnson's book, Who Moved My Cheese, was published. It was a motivational fable in which cheese symbolized what people want to achieve in life. The book became wildly popular worldwide, even in countries where cheese is not part of the traditional diet, such as China. This was surprising as the book wasn't about real cheese but metaphorical cheese, which became a symbol of change and personal goals. The message about adapting to change proved to be universal, and the book sold millions of copies globally. Is it possible that your electronic devices are listening to you? Modern smartphones and smart speakers, such as Alexa and Google Home, can indeed eavesdrop on conversations. Built-in microphones activate when the devices recognize a wake word to turn on. Although companies claim that such data is not saved, many users find that advertisements match their recent conversations, even if they haven't searched for it online. The secret to flight: 4 forces that keep a plane in the air. A plane's flight isn't just about its wings. In reality, there are 4 forces at work: lift, thrust, drag, and gravity. Lift keeps the plane in the air thanks to the wings. Thrust propels the plane forward through its engines. Drag resists the plane's motion, and gravity pulls it down. These forces work together to maintain stable flight, like a well-choreographed dance where each force has its role. Understanding these forces can make the marvel of flight even more fascinating. Wow! It turns out that the 12 apostles in Australia are not only a natural wonder, but also a piece of historical heritage. The limestone stacks, known as the 12 Apostles, are located along the coast of Port Campbell National Park in Australia. These majestic formations attract around 2 million visitors each year and represent not just a natural phenomenon, but also significant historical value. They are part of an erosion process that has been ongoing for thousands of years and symbolize the power of nature. Did you know that Plitvice Lakes in Croatia are a true natural maze? The Plitvice Lakes consist of 16 individual bodies of water set in a unique natural landscape, interconnected by waterfalls and streams. These lakes are located within the eponymous national park, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Plitvice Lakes are not only a stunning natural beauty, but also an example of how nature can create a perfect destination for tourism and relaxation. Here's what lies behind the Azores: magical nature and unique geography. Located in the North Atlantic, the Azores are renowned for their volcanic landscapes, lush valleys, and geysers. These islands are unique as they sit at the border of 2 tectonic plates, giving them not only distinct geography, but also active volcanic features. The Azores are not just a destination for nature lovers, but also for those interested in extraordinary natural processes. Did you know that ants never sleep? Ants are the real workaholics of the insect world. These amazing tiny creatures seem like they are non-stop working machines, constantly on the go, without ever pausing to rest. But the truth is, ants don't sleep the way we do. Instead, they take short breaks throughout the day to recharge their energy. Their remarkable strength and impressive teamwork make them one of the most successful and efficient species on Earth. It's truly mind-blowing when you realize just how resilient they are. It's interesting that Tokyo has no street addresses. In Tokyo, addresses are assigned not to streets but to buildings, which is very unusual for a large city. Buildings are numbered in order of construction, not by their location on a street. This means finding the right address for the first time can be challenging if you're not familiar with the area. Instead of streets, residents and visitors orient themselves by metro stations and districts, giving Tokyo a unique charm and character.